Good afternoon. On the big match today, some of the most dramatic and some of the most controversial football of the whole season. As Liverpool face Sheffield Wednesday, as Coventry City have an amazing turnabout in their game against Arsenal, and the controversy, well, was this incident inside or outside the penalty area? The critical moment as West Brom face Manchester United. But we start at Anfield, Liverpool against Sheffield Wednesday. And the afternoon opened, in fact, with Ian Rush, 49 goals in all last season. He received the Golden Boot Award, where our commentator is Peter Brackley.
A tumultuous Anfield acclaim for Europe's most prolific goalscorer. 32 league goals last season have earned Ian Rush the Adidas Golden Boot Award for 1984. The trophy handed over by a great goalscorer from Liverpool's past, Roger Hunt, whose career total of 239 is still a club record. Rush, of course, is still recovering from a cartilage operation. He's still not yet ready for a game. Otherwise, Liverpool are back to full strength today. Mark Lawrenson and Kenny Dalglish both fit again after missing Monday's Milk Cup tie at Stockport. There's another new face in the Sheffield Wednesday side. England under-21 fullback John Ryan signed from Newcastle on Thursday. And Ryan comes straight into the side as Nigel Worthington has a groin injury. Gary Shelton's recovery from a pulled hamstring means that he returns to midfield, this in place of Pat Hurd, who's moved to Newcastle as part of the Ryan transfer. Today's referee on what's now a bright and sunny afternoon on Merseyside, Terry Holbrook from Wolverhampton. So then Liverpool kicking off, attacking the top end in the first half. Sheffield Wednesday's first league match here since they were relegated back in 1970, although they did play a Milk Cup tie here last season. A replay, in fact, they lost 3-0, and there's a great following for them here again today, as there was then. One of them was from Verratti. Marwood going in, away by Kennedy, and here's John Walk. Really is a marvellous atmosphere. Lawrenson just there before Lee Chapman. Oh, Coppola up to his antics already. Well, he's a crowd pleaser, there's no doubt about that. This is Hansen striding into the Wednesday half. Blair. Came off Neil. Sammy Lee, all the way back to Bruce Grobbelaar. Smith was underneath that one. There was Nicol. Now Walsh. Splendid turn. So nimble. Now for Nicol. There's plenty of red shirts waiting in the middle. It was away by Shirtliff. Then from Shelton. Well, Chapman lost control. Now Hansen for Liverpool. Finding Walsh. This is Walk. There's so much skill, Paul Walsh. Does tend occasionally to rather over-elaborate. And certainly Grobbelaar has there. Verratti, has he scored? He has! Oh, that's a remarkable goal. And Grobbelaar, what on earth was he doing? Verratti has taken full advantage. You can well do without these seats. Grobbelaar there, apparently in no trouble, a dreadful clearance. Verratti was onto it in an instant, and how well he tucked the ball away. 7 minutes gone, and Sheffield Wednesday have taken the lead in the most unusual circumstances, and that has to go down to Bruce Grobbelaar. But what opportunism from Verratti. The ball sneaking in. Dalglish did well then to withstand the challenge, and he's won the free kick anyway. Lawrenson with the free kick. 5 Wednesday defenders strung out across the penalty area. Kennedy was looking for a way through, didn't find it. Kennedy, though, is onside here. It goes Walsh! How unlucky can you be? Kennedy then was onside, and when his cross came over, look here for Walsh, and off the post. Well, Dalglish is chasing everything, but he hasn't had much fortune so far. Walsh. Now for Walk. Again composed defending by Lions. Just over half an hour gone, and certainly Liverpool are finding it hard to penetrate this Wednesday defence. We'll try again now with Hansen. Oh, he's fouled Dalglish. Now can he finish? Well, the opportunity was certainly there, and Dalglish will be disappointed with that. Applauding the pass through from Hansen. It was a splendid ball, which totally split the Wednesday defence. Dalglish driving the shot over the bar. Walk with the header on. Dalglish to Walsh. And again, the move breaking down. Walk. Just look how far forward those Wednesday defenders had pushed. The Liverpool are onside this time as Walsh drifts away from Ryan. Still Walsh. Did extremely well. Dalglish. Shot was blocked. Lee. Kennedy is offside. The work count. Walsh involved here. Well to get his cross in. Hodge didn't claim it cleanly. As Dalglish has the first shot, that's blocked. And the flag goes up as Lee knocks it through. Dalglish, as we move into injury time. Here's Walsh. Can Liverpool find an equaliser now, right on the stroke of half-time? Walsh with the ball played in, and it was Sterland who cleared. Dalglish. It's half-time, and Imre Varadi's goal separates the two teams. A dreadful mistake by Liverpool goalkeeper Bruce Grobbelaar. Wednesday so well organised at the back, frustrating Liverpool so far. But at half-time, Sheffield Wednesday are leading Liverpool by 1-0. Wednesday then start the second half, and in confident mood, I would think. Howard Wilkinson certainly feels they're now acquiring a veneer of quality that only matches at the highest level can achieve. And I would think he'll be well satisfied with their showing in this match so far. Player through. Varadi. A good effort by Varadi. His ability to turn defenders often gives him the space for shots. Does tend to waste one or two. He scored one this afternoon. Player threading the ball through. Varadi drifting past Hansen, and the shot wide of goal. Neal with the free kick. Finds Kennedy. Away from Blair. Now Walsh. Brought down, no penalty. Walsh felt it was. As the tackle came in, down he went. Was it a penalty? So quick. There's the tackle. The referee says no foul. Kennedy, and he misread the intentions of Whelan and Walsh then. There is, I think, a corner. Was it a free kick? He's given the free kick for the challenge just outside the box there. As Wednesday line up the wall in front of Dalglish and Kennedy. 10 minutes into the second half. Wednesday pulled everybody back. Hanson's come forward. Dalglish looking for Kennedy. There was the flick on. Hanson. Walk. For the second time, Liverpool hit the post. Walk, the unlucky man this time. Some uncertainty in the Wednesday defence. They couldn't get it away. Walsh is involved there. Walk shot off the post. Neil. This is more promising now, perhaps, for Liverpool. Nicol. Still Nicol. Showing some fine control. Whelan. Walsh. Linesman's flag was raised anyway. Walsh headed wide. It wouldn't have counted. Cross coming over. Brought back there, I think, by Whelan. Walsh was offside anyway. Hanson was above Chapman, but Blair. It's Mark Smith. Kennedy away. Now Sterling for Wednesday. Good play there. Lovely interchange with Marwood. Sterling driving it in. Goal from Shelton. Bromwich couldn't hold it. And Gary Shelton has made it 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Halfway through the second half. And have Sheffield Wednesday now put this game beyond Liverpool's reach. There's a shot from Sterling. Bromwich couldn't hold it, and it was squeezed in by Shelton. Goal number 3 this season for Gary Shelton. And Bruce Bromwich, well, he can't believe it. 2 goals have gone past him. 2-0 Sheffield Wednesday lead. And who would have thought it? Liverpool, remember, unbeaten at home in the league since Wolves won here in January. One has to say it's not been a sparkling Liverpool performance by any means. And Wednesday have matched them stride for stride and have taken the 2 chances that have come their way. Hanson. Dalglish in the middle, so is Walsh. There's Dalglish. Cross in. Found Dalglish, but it was wide of goal. At the moment, it's looking good for Sheffield Wednesday. Marwood. Chapman's in the middle, and Verratti. Chapman. As the ball was crossed in by Marwood. Came off Hanson there, and Chapman just over the bar. Every time the ball goes into the Liverpool half, it's greeted with roars of approval from the Wednesday fans, who can sense now a famous victory. Sheffield Wednesday's most rewarding result on their return to the First Division. A disappointing afternoon for Bruce Bromwich, as the Wednesday fans celebrate the final score here at Anfield. It's Liverpool 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Well, that's a defeat that puts Liverpool into 12th place. A mini crisis? Don't you believe it. I can tell you there'll be a few sides that pay for that over the coming 8 months. Even so, it was a great performance by Sheffield Wednesday, and I can promise you some great football still to come today. West Bromwich Albion against Manchester United, and the goals between Coventry and Arsenal. That's after the break. Welcome back. Next, it's West Bromwich Albion against Manchester United. 26,000 at the Hawthorns for this one, West Brom's biggest crowd of the season. Many of them, of course, drawn by United's good form. They're still unbeaten. And it was a rather special day for Ron Atkinson. Our commentator is Martin Tyler.
Ron Atkinson is back on familiar territory, and still fresh in his mind Manchester United's defeat here last March, which effectively halted United's challenge for the Championship. His lineup wasn't finalised until lunchtime today, with Gordon Strachan passing a morning fitness test. Kevin Moran from injury and Jesper Olsen from World Cup duty with Denmark are also back, and Alan Brazil is preferred to Norman Whiteside, who's the substitute. Cyril Regis returns after suspension for his 300th first-team appearance for Albion. Johnny Giles is building this side around his two midfield signings, Steve Hunt and Tony Grealish, but he's also allowing two stalwarts of the Atkinson era to reconstruct their first-team careers, goalkeeper Tony Godden and defender Alistair Robertson. Referee Trevor Spencer from Salisbury is in his last season on the Football League list. He's 47 now. And Manchester United kick off, putting their unbeaten record on the line against opposition who traditionally rise to the occasion against them. And Jesper Olsen almost creating an early opening for Alan Brazil, who's been on the winning side here with Ipswich and with Tottenham. He's looking for an unusual hat-trick today. Arthur Orbiston with the throw. Albion have gone 5 games without a victory. And Hughes had come back from an offside position, and the linesman was flagging. The referee was a little late in seeing it. And although Strachan thinks he's got a corner, finally the two officials agree. And it is a free kick for offside against Hughes. Morley. Now Duxbury. Fell between two stools. Mackenzie. It's a clever header down from Hogg, sensibly guided for Olsen. Now what can Brazil manage here? A stinging shot that Godden couldn't hold, and the goalkeeper was fortunate that there was no one following in. It off his chest, almost outside the area. Brazil anxious to make things happen, and Godden couldn't hang on. The sheer pace of the game at the moment is rather inhibiting its flow. Brazil. Whitehead. There's even an extra competitive edge to this First Division match, with so many interwoven stories, players playing against their old club, both managers with connections with the opposition. Moses. Brazil this time was not offside. Moses was impeded by Hunt. Free kick to Manchester United. "25 minutes played. Perhaps within Robson's range for a direct shot. And it's deflected. But Robson accepts the congratulations. Manchester United are in front. And Brian Robson bites the hands that used to feed him. It seemed to take a touch on the way through, and Godden was helpless. Moses. Well, it's looking awkward in the middle of the field for Albion at the moment, and you must give credit to Manchester United in that department for that. You can only play as well as you're allowed to do. And it's Grealish who gives it away again, straight to Hogg. Olsen. This time it's presented to Thompson by Orbiston, who tried to retrieve the error. The whistle had gone. Thompson halted when he was in full cry. To be fair to the referee, he had virtually lost possession, and United stopped on the whistle. Thompson again, and then Regis. Brought away by Brazil. 4 players forward for Manchester United. Strachan is one. Now Albiston has just given Albion a chance to regroup. Strachan and Olsen. Brazil in the middle. And Hughes by the goalkeeper. Albion struggling again defensively in the face of Jesper Olsen. Godden got a hand to a ball played into that area that defenders don't like, but Hughes couldn't fasten onto the rebound. John Giles just beyond Nobby Stiles, and then Norman Hunter beyond him, a formidable trio of ex-players guiding West Bromwich Albion these days. Regis. Now, can he manufacture something against Hogg here? For Hunt. And Thompson is offside. The linesman's flagging. The crowd don't realise it. Thompson doesn't realise it. The goal is not given. Thompson came in. That's definitely his strong point. He thought he'd scored, but the flag went up straight away. United still have their lead. Bailey's goal is still intact. But maybe a moment of encouragement to not only help the supporters here to find their voices to encourage the home side, but to increase the self-belief amongst the Albion players as well. Thompson's disallowed goal was 8 minutes from half-time, and Morley, is that a penalty? Mike Duxbury, a penalty it is, against Duxbury. Morley had got behind him. It was a desperate situation for the Manchester United right-back, and he took desperate measures. I think Morley, before he got the ball, so Thompson this time from the spot. 1-1. And for Gary Thompson, a 6th goal this season in 8 First Division games. Delivered by Thompson right into the bottom corner with the inside of the foot. And West Bromwich Albion a level through their top scorer. Now Strachan. Brazil in that distinctive style of his, checking out onto his left-hand side to make space. He does it well. But he's had to wait for support, which arrived from Albiston. Olsen. And it had Godden committing himself to the dive. Jesper Olsen, 2 years ago this month, really made his name with that remarkable solo goal against England in Copenhagen. And he was looking for goals again here. Regis now, can he get the ball under control and set off on one of those strong, bustling runs? And he tried to change the point of attack towards Morley. It seemed sensible enough in the way that Morley has come into the game in the second part of this first half. The Albion players drawn towards the man in possession, who was Brazil, and they neglected Albiston. Robson. Regis won it, lost his balance, and then lost the ball to Robson. Now Strachan. And Olsen is onside. Brazil going to the near post, and Robson! Well, you'd have put a lot of money on Brian Robson scoring then. It's his stock in trade. And all credit to Jesper Olsen, who provided the perfect service for Robson. But he side-footed it, looking to place it, and placed it wide. Olsen. And there is the half-time whistle. Manchester United have taken the lead with Brian Robson's free kick. Robson with a slight hamstring injury that Manchester United have been trying to keep secret, but his lead was cut back by Gary Thompson's penalty after Tony Morley had been brought down. So half-time at the Hawthorns, it's West Bromwich Albion 1, Manchester United 1. West Bromwich Albion start the second half with their substitute Nicky Cross on, and it's Alistair Robertson who is off the field and watching from the second half from the bench. Albion with this proud record of 7 wins out of the last 8 First Division meetings between these two clubs at the Hawthorns. Regis. Crosses header. Robson. Now Strachan. And the referee playing a part in helping United keep possession unwittingly. The crowd wanted handball against Strachan. The referee didn't see it that way. Robson, Brazil ahead of him. And now Olsen looked to curve it, and so unlucky. A flash of magic from a thrilling player. He looked up and saw Godden off his line, chipped it over the goalkeeper, it came out off the bar. Olsen reflects on how close he came. Hogg beaten on the near post by Bennett, planted back by Olsen. Booted out by Regis. Strachan. Olsen running into Cross. That will certainly help his confidence as a makeshift fullback to take the ball from Jesper Olsen. Here's Statham, who can hardly be switched to play right back either. Another very left-sided player. Grealish. Hughes, and he may have put Alan Brazil in here. Brazil waiting his moment to take the strike at goal. Wasn't going to rush it, but Tony Godden denied him with a splendid save in a 1-against-1 situation. Albion's reorganisation at the back rather shown up then, allowing Brazil to go on, but Godden to the rescue for them. Duxbury. Brazil. And Hughes. Has he got behind Bennett here? He has. And Tony Godden once Now, as he brought down Olsen, was it in the area? No doubt in the referee's mind that it was a foul. And it seems as though he's given Manchester United a penalty. Godden blocked from Hughes. And it looked as though the contact may well have started outside the area. Tony Godden played in every game under Ron Atkinson's management. And Atkinson was in charge here. But now he stands between Manchester United in their attempt to regain the lead. And Gordon Strachan is certainly finding penalties coming his way in his move south. This will be his fourth for Manchester United. He scored from the other three. He scores again. 21 minutes into the second half. Certainly a controversial penalty. United's travelling support celebrate. Strachan, unabashed by the controversy, stayed calm. Hogg has got himself into problems here. Thompson and Morley. So close. Tony Morley looking for a personal landmark. He's on 49 league goals in his career. And it shaved the post, with Bailey looking on with great apprehension. Back from Statham for Godden to send it long. We're into the time that the referee wants to add on. Hughes. Mackenzie safely back to the goalkeeper. Albion wanted at the other end. Orbiston. But it's been a controlled performance from Manchester United, particularly in the second half. And no one can dispute the right to what is a rare victory at the Hawthorns for them. Pleasure for Ron Atkinson. But I think West Bromwich Albion will contest the final manner of the victory, with Tony Godden conceding a penalty when he may have just gone outside the area. But Manchester United have the points, and maybe that's a barometer of their championship chances on a ground where it's always been difficult for them. They win at the Hawthorns by 2-1.
So Manchester United remain unbeaten, but as you've seen, it's a victory that has been shrouded in controversy. We saw the challenge by Tony Godden on Jesper Olsen, and it did appear to be outside the penalty area. We talked to United manager Ron Atkinson about it, but first about United's very satisfying result.
Satisfying, but I think the performance was more satisfying. That is, the second half particularly is as good as the Manchester United side has played since I've been at the club. I thought we were absolutely marvellous second half. Brilliant.
But Albion are lamenting about the way they lost the penalty incident involving Tony Godden and Jesper Olsen. What was your view of it?
Yeah, well, having looked at it on the replay, to be fair, some of our lads said they felt it was outside the box. But here Sparky goes through. As it comes out, as it cannons off Tony, little Jasper's making ground very, very quickly, I might add. Now, to be fair, as soon as he goes onto it, I don't think that actually shows that whether the ball was in or out of the box. May have been on the line. But I would say this, our players, to be fair to them, felt it was outside the box.
So professional honesty there from Manchester United players. I have to say, we did have the opportunity of looking about a dozen times at that incident. We acknowledge that the referee only gets one such look. But Ron Atkinson then, pretty happy. And another manager who must be well satisfied with the way things are going at the moment is Arsenal's Don Howe. They went to Coventry yesterday in second place. But first, our reporter Bob Hall looked at a player who's had so much to do with Arsenal's recent revival.
When Terry Neal tempted Charlie Nicholas away from Scotland, there were those who raised an eyebrow. Somehow Highbury didn't seem the most natural home for a talent who'd scored 48 league goals at an average guaranteed to draw the scouts. But surrounded by established internationals and now new management, Nicholas and Arsenal's challenge for honours has blossomed. At Highfield Road, they took the field boasting a complete 11 of honoured players. Coventry, hit by injury, paled alongside. Arsenal persisted with an attacking policy almost solely reliant on Sanson, Ricks and Woodcock threatening the home goal and testing fullback Andy Spring, a veteran of just 2 league games. Nicholas played deep, often trailing in the wake of Ricks, hassled and harried by a defence who watched his every move. And it was 39 minutes before Coventry checked that Jennings was still alert, Singleton's effort livening the crowd. They must have put something in the tea at half-time, all the excitement that was lacking suddenly exploding in a spell of frantic action. Michael Ginn had always looked the man most likely to, and when he sped away, there was the ever-willing Terry Gibson to give Coventry a lead that they'd never looked like taking. 3 minutes later, Nicholas did get into the penalty area, so did Gibson, and Mr. Banks had no doubt that it was a penalty. Ken Hibbert used to shoulder that responsibility at Wolves. Maybe that's why Pat Jennings guessed right. He somehow had the feeling that Arsenal would punish that miss. They did, but there was only 5 minutes remaining. Sanson ventured down the left again, and Tony Woodcock met it perfectly. In the 48th minute, just when everyone seemed to have settled for a draw, Trevor Peake failed to clear a free kick, and Mariner pounced. They kicked off again, but only so the final whistle could be blown. The 4,000 from Highbury's North Bank invaded the pitch, and Charlie Nicholas disappeared. It might not have been his best game in Arsenal's colours, but I don't suppose either he or his fans mind too much.
Even so, that victory for Arsenal in the 3rd minute of injury time wasn't enough to keep them in 2nd place. Forest moved above them on goal difference. They had 2 goals in the last 5 minutes against Norwich. At the top still are Spurs, but the race is really on now. The top 6 all won. Well, that's it then. We've had some marvellous moments on the programme today. A weekend, of course, that Sheffield Wednesday fans will always remember. From the 3rd to the 1st Division, and now a victory at Anfield. It's a day they'll always remember. Maybe it's one Bruce Grobbelaar wants to forget. Good afternoon.
He has so much skill, Paul Walsh. Does tend occasionally to rather over-elaborate. And certainly Grobbelaar has there. Berardi, has he scored? He has! Oh, that's a remarkable goal. Good play there. Lovely interchange with Marwood. Sterling driving it in. Goal from Shelton.